The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Podcast Championships. Introducing first, from parts unknown, he is the head that makes the bread, Rob English. His tag team partner, hailing out of Atlanta, Georgia, the phenomenal, incomparable, incorrigible, Big Red Cliff Johnson! Accompanied by the man who needs no introduction, Lego Maedro, it's Ed Rowland! At a combined weight of 675 pounds, they are the Wrestling Nerds Alliance!
Good day to you all. We are back again for the Wrestling Nerds Alliance podcast, episode 2. And before we really get started, we're going to point out the fact that if we sound like shit...
Worse than normal, anyway.
There's a very good reason, as we had some major technical difficulties and human error that caused for us not to be able to record on our usual equipment. We are literally recording this on my iPhone right now with Cliff calling in via FaceTime on my iPad. So, man, we are trying hard this week.
You can't say that we don't try as hard as we can.
Yeah. We really wanted to get another episode out there, and we just decided, you know what? At one point, we were going to say screw it and not do it. But we decided to just try it this way, and Ed's going to do his best to sweeten things up later via all of his
Audacity magic.
Yes, Audacity magic. And literally,
it's gonna be amazing.
And literally on cue, the moment we start recording, my dogs start going nuts upstairs, and I can hear it. This is fantastic.
Same thing with my baby.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Didn't we get a run in from your baby last week? I thought I heard a couple. Yeah.
Oh, I missed
sure.
that. Yeah, no.
Little Kevin with his comments in there. So yeah, that was the kind of please. I want to apologize to you ahead of time intro. But anyways, usual intro. I am Rob English,
And I'm Ed Rowland.
And I am Clifford L. Johnson.
and we are the Wrestling Nerds Alliance, and this is episode 2. So yeah, we got
A lot of good feedback.
a lot of good feedback.
A lot of
actually.
people liked it.
We did. We had a few people. I actually enjoyed the fact that a good friend of ours, Bruce, commented that he listened to it and was actually motivated to actually look some of the people up we were talking about.
Exactly.
Which
Sweet.
he is not a wrestling fan, so that was very a good thing for me to hear.
Exciting that we could influence him in that.
Yes. So yeah, we've got a lot of good feedback. We've had some people listen that obviously we don't know, not just friends and family. We've noticed that there's been
There's more than the 10 or so that we clicked.
But it was fun, and hopefully we can continue to do this, and we're gonna not sound like this every week.
Let it ride
through the iPhone. But it is what it is.
Just so you guys know.
Cliff, did you get any feedback at all from it, from people you knew, or?
I did. I had a couple people, cousins, listen. They said it was really cool. And, shout out to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
News of the week, or...
Yeah, I think we're going to go into the news of the week, because obviously we don't know how long this is going to work, and when you're dealing with FaceTime and cell phones and Wi-Fi signals...
You gotta get while the getting's good.
You gotta get while the getting's good.
Right.
We could lose Cliff in a hail of gibberish in a few minutes. You never know. So basically, let's get into the news of the week. The news I wanted to start with is the fact that tonight, as we are recording this on Sunday afternoon, is the WWE Payback pay-per-view. And,
Why don't they call it Backlash anymore?
Well, Backlash is the next pay-per-view. That's the SmackDown one.
SmackDown, yeah.
Wasn't it backwards before, though? Wasn't Payback after Backlash?
Payback was one that they brought out a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, they just kind of
I
made
can't
that
keep
one
track.
up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What was the... No, because, it used to be Backlash was right after WrestleMania.
Backlash went away about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was replaced with Payback, and there was no Backlash anymore. But now that the brand split has come back...
We're going to reintroduce Backlash.
Backlash, yes. Backlash is back. But yeah, so we have the top matches, obviously, for the show are the House of Horrors match, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that is. I do have some info on that, though, that I was going to get to when we get there.
Right.
And obviously, Roman Reigns against Braun Strowman.
Which is going to be exciting,
I think that'll actually be a pretty good match.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
You know, people shit on Roman a lot because he's the chosen one. But he's not a horrible worker. He's actually a pretty decent worker.
That's the curse of the chosen one, is you're always a pretty decent worker, and then you get a push you don't necessarily deserve in the eyes of everyone else, and that's where the whole chosen one persona comes from.
Yeah.
Which I still don't understand, because before we loved Roman when he was power bombing people through tables with the Shield, and then as soon as they were like, "Hey, they like this guy, let's push him," everybody was like, "Oh wait, we're supposed to like him. You're not supposed to like us."
Well, I kind of point to the fact that Roman's time was the year before he won it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like had he beat Batista in the year that everybody wanted American Dragon to win it, I feel, I don't know, I feel like people wouldn't have shit on him as much.
Right. It would have felt a little more deserved.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, make no mistake about it, that was Daniel Bryan's year to win it, and obviously we all know what happened there.
Well, Daniel Bryan should have won it before that even, so we're late to the game all the way around.
Right.
In the eyes of many of the smart fans, Daniel Bryan should win it every year.
Every year. He should win it even when he's on injured reserve.
Yeah, which is sad.
He should win it right now.
I mean, I love Daniel Bryan, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like there's, and maybe this is blasphemous coming from a smart fan's mouth, but I feel like there's too much, if it's not this, then we don't accept it.
Yeah.
From smart fans.
Only what we want, because we know what's best for everybody.
Right.
But we do, though. That's why we have podcasts.
But that's the thing. I feel like there's too much, you know, you can go back to the days of, you know, Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. And now, granted, Eddie is, man, does Eddie hold a very special place in my heart. I love me some Eddie Guerrero. And that was before he even became, I threw that out there, that hipster sounding. I liked Eddie before everybody liked Eddie. But I did, you know.
Before it was cool to like Eddie Guerrero, man.
You know, back in the day when Cliff and I would take on everybody in WCW NWO Revenge. Yeah, WCW NWO Revenge. It was Cliff playing Glacier.
Yep.
That's right.
And me playing Eddie Guerrero, and nobody could stop us.
That's right. Fire and ice, baby.
That's right, baby. But yeah, you know, I feel like there's too much of that, and Roman is somebody who I think kind of unfairly gets shit on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he works when he needs to work. He does what's asked of him. He's a good worker. He's got a good look. But man, I think people boo him now just to boo him.
It's the thing to do.
It's a cool thing to do now.
Right. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So let's get into some other matches on the show. It's looking like the pre-show is going to be Enzo Amore and Big Cass taking on the Club to the sound of crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that, I mean, obviously the fan in me wants them to do more with the Club. I love Luke Gallows. I really wish that this was a more adult product and they let Luke Gallows be Sex Ferguson on WWE television.
That would be hysterical.
Oh my!
And they tried to give you a little bit of it with those quirky little New Day things that they did, but it was just like, it's just not the same.
Well, they tried to do it. You remember I was excited. I was texting you and sending you links to the YouTube videos when it looked like they were going to do Southpaw Regional Wrestling on YouTube.
Yeah, aren't they? That's not on the network. That was just
no. It was just on YouTube. Ed's looking at me puzzled. He
I have
doesn't know
no
about
clue
that.
what you're talking about. Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
About was it maybe a month ago, Cliff? Probably
no,
about
a little bit longer than that, maybe 2.
Okay.
But it was recently.
But it wasn't too long ago. And they were showing these vignettes that looked like they were recorded on VHS.
So they're all grainy and
Yeah, and it was people like John Cena pretending he was like this really bad Southern play-by-play guy. Like he was doing a Gordon Soley impression. And Fandango dressed up next to him in a bad wig and looking like he was just hungover and he hates his life. His wife left him. Like he's just really depressed. And you had guys like Carl Anderson playing a guy named Chad Too Bad, and he wore a bad like mullet wig and
Chad Too Bad.
and it was
best.
like Southern wrestling to the hilt. And Luke Gallows was playing his Sex Ferguson character, but he was calling himself Tex Ferguson.
Tex Ferguson, yeah.
And I was, for a moment, I'm like, are they about to do this? Like, is this going to be a thing on YouTube or on the network? Because I will watch every week. But it turned out to be just a 4-episode commercial for KFC.
Is that a rib?
That is not a rip, sir. It literally was
Real
an
life.
excuse to get Ric Flair to talk about Georgia Gold KFC chicken.
That's terrible, man. I'm so sorry. That sounds like it'd be great. Right?
It was great.
Until the reveal.
I was very happy, and then it was revealed to be something I didn't care about. So, but you know, Enzo and Cass, they're popular. I'm getting to the point to where I'm feeling like it's going to be any day now that they break those guys up.
Cass's heel turn is coming, right?
I don't think it'll be a heel turn.
I don't think. Yeah, I think they'll just like mutually go their separate ways, and
Or Cass will probably go more into the singles realm, and maybe Enzo will be like his manager.
That
I would
seems
actually
logical.
prefer that.
Yeah.
Because I do love me some Cass and Enzo, but Enzo is quite atrocious in the rings at times.
Yeah.
He still feels like he's just like he's green. Like I just don't I don't get it sometimes.
Well, I never got the sense that he really did much to improve in NXT anyways. I think it was just the character that was getting pushed that way.
The shtick.
Yeah.
So who's a better
Which got
worker?
over?
Enzo Amore or Scotty Too Hottie?
Scotty.
I'm gonna go with Scotty Too Hottie.
Scotty without a doubt.
Okay.
Scotty's actually a really
Scotty's
good
actually
worker.
can go.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It looked ridiculous when we were younger. I don't know.
But that's what got him pushed.
Yeah.
You know
That
what I
was
mean?
just because he was saddled with that awful I want to be a rapper stupid gimmick. But
Now, you shit on it, but it was hot for a little while there.
oh no, I'm not. I love when he did the worm. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying that as a performer, you know, when you want to go out and showcase that I'm a good wrestler, but they give you no, you're just gonna go out there and dance and do the worm and snake and hip hop parade and all that shit. Like it was just like, okay, I guess all right, I'm over with it. Cool. They're gonna sell merchandise and little glowworms in the audience. I'm cool with that.
You're for the kids now. Have a good
Right.
Get money.
Hey, I'm not. If I could get a contract to be a honky tonk man, I'd do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like I have no designs that I would have to be a world champion. I would be very happy being Scotty Too Hottie.
Upper
I'd be
lower
very,
mid card.
Yeah, I'd be very happy being R-Truth.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because I don't even think R-Truth is happy being R-Truth, but I don't know. That's just me talking. I don't think I could go out and coon it up for the world.
Oh, wow.
We're just going to call a spade right now.
I'm glad you
Boy, it's
said
the
it.
epitome of blackface. But we're just going to let that one ride.
Yeah, okay. I'm not touching that one. We're moving on to the next match. Next match on the main show. All the rest of these are on the main show. We have Neville versus Aries Part 2 for the Cruiserweight title.
Should be just as good, right?
I hope they give him time. And I do like the fact that this has caused them to turn TJ Perkins heel. Because God, should he have been a heel from day one.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. Oh, I don't know. And maybe this is because the guy in charge of the company is 70-something years old and he really doesn't understand that the character that TJ plays, with the douchey sunglasses and the hair and, just constantly dabbing. Oh, God.
What is the dab? I do not know what is the dab.
It's just like, basically, it's just a dance where it looks like you're sneezing into your arm.
Yeah.
So it is as retarded as it sounds, is what
It's
you're
bad.
saying.
It's bad.
Basically.
But the thing is it was
the kids
just,
like it.
Yeah, it was just another example of, and this is my opinion talking, the white kids stealing something away from the black kids and then ruining it.
Right. Okay.
Because the moment you have Hillary Clinton doing it.
Oh my God.
So it's the Vanilla Ice of dance moves.
Yes, it is now.
Yeah.
And it's really only, in my opinion, teenagers and douchey dudes that still do it.
Okay. I'm going to keep my brand of dabs. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't need.
I was gonna say, yeah, your dabs are a little bit more green.
Yeah.
So Bailey versus Bliss.
Yeah. Bailey versus Alexa Bliss for the women's title. Does it feel rushed that Alexa's already in the title picture?
No, because she was in the title picture on SmackDown, and I feel like if she was a champion on that show, then she can be a champion on the other show.
Now, as we talked about last week, I think that the Alexa character is fantastic. I just worry because with just about everything in WWE, we're going to take something that people have gravitated towards and we're going to drive it into the ground so hard.
Yeah.
That you now already have a situation where Alexa Bliss could become overexposed on Raw. Do you worry about that at all, Ed or Cliff?
I don't. I mean, let the girl get her 15 minutes. She's good. She's pretty good in the ring, and she's developed a decent character with her Harley Quinn-esque, gimmick. So it's much better than that old Southern Hick girl they had her doing when she first came. So,
But does she have the
not
instincts to last past her 15 minutes?
I think she does. I think she does.
for sure.
Now, also with that match, they're going to be in San Jose. They're going to be in Bailey's hometown.
Which means she's gonna lose.
There you go. They have this thing now where if you are in your hometown, not only do you lose, but we humiliate you.
Right.
Brett screwed Brett.
For sure.
Wow. And it's not even like, it's like sometimes to where I feel bad for the person who's on the receiving end of it, because it's not even just like you lost. It's like you lost badly or you get beat down, or in JR's case, we're going to, give you a stink face or like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they will do anything to humiliate you in your hometown now. To where maybe it's all leading up to the big, Vince Russo swerve where you expect someone to lose in their hometown and then they gotcha.
Oh, we're over.
Well, hold on now, because Naomi did win at WrestleMania in her hometown.
Correct.
Is Naomi a face?
So
Yeah,
Naomi
is the women's
is a fan
champion.
favorite.
Naomi is the one with the glow.
Right, but I don't know. She never really came off heel or face to me one way or the other.
Well, she was a heel when she got hurt.
She was a heel for a while with Tamina and Sasha Banks as Team Bad.
Beautiful and dangerous.
Nice.
Beautiful and dangerous. I was gonna use other words in there, but it's a PG show, guys. So
Is it?
You just dropped Coon a little bit there.
Oh, you said it. You're in trouble now.
I'm repeating.
Quoting.
Quoting.
oh, it was a quote.
Yeah.
Good thing you're there and I'm here.
Yeah. You wouldn't do anything about it anyways.
Okay. I hear you, cuz.
All right, moving on. Hardys versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team title.
Did you take a look at the picture that they have up, the little card of like the 4 guys standing there?
No.
Oh, dude, it looks like someone told Sheamus his puppy died or something, dude. He looks so sad.
Where's it on
Look at those
WWE.com?
sad eyes. Yeah, he does. He looks like somebody showed him a birthday cake and said, "You don't get any of this, Sheamus." Where?
But you got a match, so get out there.
Get out there and wrestle.
But Matt did a bunch of ecstasy apparently because he's super happy.
That's the broken
jacked.
Hardy face.
Right. He's super geeked
That's
to be
the
there.
cuckoo broken Hardy face that, hopefully we'll see one day, which we will talk about a little bit more later on. But I do ask this question, and it's something that I tweeted about at WNA Podcast on Twitter last week when we were watching Raw earlier in the week. Are the
Shameless
Hardy
plug.
Boys too old to be called the Hardy Boys now?
Hardy dudes.
The Hardy guys, the Hardys. I don't think so. I mean, they've been the Hardy Boys since they've been in WWE, since they've been wrestling. And they were grown men when we were calling them the Hardy Boys 10 years ago as well. So I don't think it's an issue. I mean, the Dudley Boys are older than them, and we were still calling them the Dudley Boys when they came back. So I don't think it's an issue.
I kind of feel like, though, with the Dudley Boys it works because that was kind of like a faux Southern tag team.
Right. It's kind of a joke on the novels now at this point, right? They're not the Hardy Boys as in, like, they're young men. They're like, haha, we named them after,
I'm going to be honest with you, Ed. I don't think anybody that watches the show knows who the hell you're talking about.
No one's ever read a Hardy Boys mystery ever?
Hardy Boys was a thing maybe when our parents were kids. I never
read a ton of the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, all that stuff.
You were a sheltered child.
I was a sheltered child, but that has nothing to do with it.
Here, little Eddie, go in this room. Here's a stack of Hardy Boys novels for you.
Ooh, let's see if they find the turtle.
And we also got a bag of hard candies for you, buddy.
Yeah. The licorice ones that tasted like hell.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Poor Ed. It's okay. It's all right. We all had those things that...
Yeah. Some 17-year-old kid's like, Hardy Boy
Yeah,
mysteries.
What's the Hardy Boys?
Hardy Boy, yeah.
Or they find that in the library and they expect it to be about Matt and Jeff.
There's no TLC match in this book.
Where's the Swantons at?
What? This is bullshit. Whoever wrote this lied. They lied. Also, on tonight's show, we have Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the U.S. title. The winner of the match not only wins the U.S. title, but is also going to be going to the SmackDown roster. Now,
Match of the night.
yeah, I think this is going to be probably the match of the night. Maybe has some competition from the next match we're going to talk about, but I feel like this is in the running to where it could be very, very good. Now, obviously, if anybody has read anything online, they know that Chris Jericho, as he often does, is going to be taking a little time away after tonight. So I expect there to be something done to write him out of the storylines tonight. Jericho's going to be touring with his band Fozzy. Excuse me, I apologize. But yeah, he's going to be taking some time away to do some touring, and I think they got a new album that's going to be coming out. I 100% believe Kevin Owens is winning tonight. I believe he's going to be moved over to SmackDown, where you will probably see him pushed, if not in the main event, very close to it. I know that the plan for the rest of the year is to build towards Baron Corbin becoming a main eventer. Oh, boy.
They got a long road.
You know, I think, and I've mentioned this too, and I want to get it on the podcast because if it happens, you heard it here first. I feel like they need to change Baron Corbin's gimmick. I think because he's balding, they should shave his head and just do a complete gimmick revamp on him and make him like a club kid. And have him,
Club kid?
yeah, and have him call himself Two Adorbs Barry Corbs. That's my idea. If I was booking the show, that's what I'd tell him.
If I were booking, you
Totes
are
adorbs.
absolutely
Yes, and I'd have him talk like
insane.
that.
Yeah.
Totes adorbs. Oh, this is Fabu. This is great.
Just team him up with the fashion police and call it
Yes.
a day.
That would work.
That's your faction right there.
Stop.
Breezango and two adorbs Barry Corbs.
You're gonna bring apart
jeez.
bring upon us the end of the world.
Tag the faction OMG.
OMG. Nothing but emojis all over
Yes.
their fucking Titantron. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
It's coming. I bet
feel like it should be done.
we're gonna start calling you the Prophet.
That's right. yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So Kevin Owens, I feel, God, KO, he deserves more. I was really disappointed, carrying the Universal title for basically the majority of the year, and literally the pay-per-view before he's got to drop the belt to Goldberg because they felt that Goldberg and Brock needed that title. Now I know the plan also there is they want to build to Brock against Roman, main eventing WrestleMania next year.
The point of that, I don't quite see.
I really
personally.
hope they don't keep the belt on Brock that entire time. But
He's just gonna sit at the crib and hold it for 6 months and then
Defend it twice.
defend it at SummerSlam.
make no mistake about it. Do I have a problem with the fact that Brock is the champion? Absolutely not.
He's a credible champion.
He's a credible champ, and he, even in his part-time schedule, all of his matches mean something because he doesn't wrestle every week or even every month. And because
True.
when that guy comes out, everybody is like, holy shit, this guy is gonna mess somebody up. But I feel like he doesn't need it either.
Right.
You're perfectly fine with having him showing up and destroying somebody every now and again. You don't
Yeah.
need to put the belt on him.
Right.
And
But it's one of those things where when you think about it, though, it's just like if he is the badass amongst badasses, then technically he should have it.
yeah.
I would
it's
write
like
it.
you can't go wrong with either way, really.
Yeah. I would write it that the belt was beneath him at this point. That, all he really wants is a challenge. Anybody that can stand up to him for more than 30 seconds. I don't need the belt. You guys can go chase after that all you want. I just want someone to fight. Is what I would do.
I like that.
I like that
I do
idea.
like that.
So yeah, I know we just trailed off of KO Y2J on that, but
Oh,
no, I do feel like
everybody's irrelevant when it comes to Brock Lesnar.
it's true. It's true. But I mean, I really hope that if they are going to be moving Kevin Owens to SmackDown, which is looking like they're going to, and that's where I was also thinking with the other match that the last match we're going to get to tonight, talking about tonight's show. Since that is now non-title, I was hoping at one point that it was going to be for the title.
Mm-hmm.
And Bray wins and takes the belt over to Raw, and Brock is kind of in limbo. You don't know if he's on Raw, you don't know if he's on SmackDown, and your main champion is now Kevin Owens on SmackDown holding the U.S. title. I would have been okay with that.
Right.
I'm not okay
Definitely.
with the U.S. belt. I'm not okay with a lot of belts in this company, but that's a conversation for another day. I hate that belt. I hate the majority of the belts in this company.
Purple strap.
Oh God. But yeah, no, I would have been okay with that. So here's to hoping that that is going to be as good as it looks on paper. Another match that I again think is going to give it a run for its money as far as the in-ring standpoint, being one of the best matches on the show, is Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe.
I cannot wait, and I would like to retract my statement and say that this will be the match of the night.
I really hope it is, because we have not had on the main roster the coming out party for Samoa Joe yet.
Right.
Not yet.
He had a really good match his first night, second night. First night he, killed Rollins.
Right.
But he had a really good match his first night on Raw with Roman Reigns. That was a good one. But since then, Joe has just been kind of walking around Raw being, I took out Seth Rollins. Great, Joe. You also didn't even show up at Mania because, for whatever reason, they're holding you off. I feel like they're really in danger of cooling off Joe badly if he loses tonight.
I agree.
I don't think he can.
Seth doesn't really need to win.
He has to be able to establish exactly who he is and exactly why Triple H brought him to Raw, and his whole point was to be the destroyer to Seth Rollins in this moment. So I don't think it would kill some momentum. However, if he does lose, he would need to at least destroy Seth after the match. He would still needs to look strong.
I feel like if they have a really, really competitive match and a lot of back and forth and a real, just brawl, and he somehow, like, in a flash loses, then yeah, I'd be okay with that. And then he takes out Rollins to kind of build for the next big fight. But if he just clean loses tonight, which I really, really, really feel like is going to happen, I feel like, what do you do from here with Samoa Joe? You could have him attack Rollins after the match, but again, he's shown he can beat him.
I got a question about Joe. All right. Are we too late in his career to really see him do what we wanted him to do when we were watching him in the indies and all that stuff? Be that Samoa Joe on the main stage? I
feel like physically he can't anymore. He is in his late 30s now. Mm-hmm. He obviously is a bigger guy, and he does a lot of things that bigger guys can't do, and he's amazing. And he, like we spoke about with Brock Lesnar, is the kind of guy that when you see him walking down the ramp, you're like, that dude's going to hurt somebody. He looks like a real fighter, and he really is. I mean, he's been trained, in jiu-jitsu and things like that. Joe can take care of himself in real life, aside from just in the ring, but I feel like he's also, because of all those battles he's been in, I mean, the guy he fought Kobashi,
Yeah.
He's fought Masawa, like, he's been in the ring with all these guys that beat you down, mm-hmm. and he's been doing this now since the early 2000s.
It takes a level of grace to make this look good, and has he lost that grace having taken so many hard hits?
I don't feel like he has, but I also feel like he's getting to a point where the toll has been taken on his body, and he can't do all the things that you're used to seeing him do.
So that question being answered, wouldn't it make more sense to use him to make Rollins look good? Because Rollins is significantly younger and has a rest of his career ahead of him.
I would say no, because Rollins doesn't need it.
Right.
Rollins spent the better part of the last 2 years being made by his affiliation with the Authority and all the great matches he was having. Rollins is the guy in WWE right now. They want it to be Roman, but Rollins, kind of without having the crown, is that guy. Yeah. As the main heel for the most part for the last 2 years. Before he got hurt, the crowd was already starting to cheer him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
They were already starting to kind of jump on that bandwagon. And I feel like a win over Joe is not needed. I think Joe needs it more. If you want to be able to do something more with him, which I feel like they can and they should, I feel like he needs the win,
Well, here's the thing. So I do think that it would slow his momentum a bit. However, I think that he can have the same impact, pun intended, no pun intended, that AJ Styles did. Because when AJ came in, he wasn't winning a lot of matches.
Yeah.
He lost to Jericho at Mania. He lost a few big matches leading up to their big feud, and then he kept staying in those matches, and he kept pushing, so they kept moving him up, and then he eventually ended up beating John Cena, and that pretty much took him over the edge. I think if Samoa Joe does lose, it would slow it down, but I don't think it would hurt him in the long run. It just depends on how he's booked for the rest of this year, or leading up to SummerSlam. If he can get a big win over a Seth Rollins, or whoever they're pushing at that time, whoever's the big guy at that moment, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, speaking of big guys, we move on to one of the other big matches on the show. We have Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, and there you go. The build for Braun Strowman, as we talked about on last week's episode, has been fantastic. I know that they want to continue to build him to make him a credible opponent for Brock, and I feel like Braun needs the win here. I know we talked about it with Joe and Rollins, but this one more than Joe and Rollins.
Yeah, I think the difference with Braun is that if Braun loses right now, well, actually, I don't know, because he just lost to Kalisto.
Yeah, but that was a fluke win.
Yeah, that was stolen, obviously.
But he won, though.
Yeah, for what Clip's talking about, which I'm assuming most of the people listening to the show already know this.
I watched it.
But for those that, as we talked about, a few people have listened that do not watch often, on Raw, there was a dumpster match between Braun Strowman and Kalisto. Kalisto, all of 5'3" and 190 pounds, and Braun Strowman, all of about 6'7", well over 300 pounds. Kalisto, in a fluke, knocked him into the dumpster and beat him. And the reason why it was a dumpster match, well, in Braun's rampage from a week or so before, he picked up Kalisto and deposited him quite harshly into a dumpster. So the loser was the one that got tossed in the dumpster. And Braun fell in, but landed on his feet, was standing. Mm-hmm. And then immediately afterwards just beat Kalisto all to hell, locked him in the dumpster, and tossed him off the stage.
Which was pretty awesome.
It was pretty awesome, but it was also a 3-foot stage.
It wasn't very far.
Hey, you get in a dumpster and let me throw it off something.
See, that's the question. Was it a gimmick dumpster? Did he roll out from underneath?
Of course it is. Okay. No, I don't think it was gimmick. I think they had something in there. They had to have something in there for him to hold on to.
They had a baby harness in there for him.
Yeah.
Because
if you notice, there was a shot right before he pushed the thing off the ramp. He opened up the lid again
and gave Kalisto a look like, "You okay?"
Yeah. Like, "All right, dude, it's about to go down."
Yeah.
So I think he was checking to make sure that he was straight, and it had to be something in there.
But obviously, Roman's been off for the last few weeks, selling the injury that he was given at the hands of Braun Strowman, and his feat of enormous strength, flipping the ambulance with Roman inside, which was, God, just an amazing visual. But he's been out, coming back tonight. As we all know, Vince loves his Superman
monster heels,
monster face. Trust me. He loves his heels, his big monster heels, but man, does he always want Superman to come to the rescue. Look at Hulk Hogan, look at John Cena, look at now Roman Reigns, who gets flipped off a loading dock while strapped to a gurney, flipped in an ambulance, beat down multiple times, thrown through things, and they say he suffered a fractured rib. Or was it a bruised rib?
I didn't hear.
And
mild concussion.
Yeah, like it was not a. They sold it like, oh yeah, he hurt him, but yeah, he'll be okay in a few weeks.
He'll be fine in a few weeks.
Go take a lap and walk it off.
Meanwhile, if that happened to say Kalisto or somebody else, that would have been a way to write him off either completely from the company, or for a good 6 months while we revamp your character. So I do worry that they're going to go with the whole, Hero comes back and triumphs over the monster. But I feel like this is a spot where Braun really, really needs the win. If you want to continue to show him as a dominant character in the company.
I agree completely.
But can you have Roman lose right after he retired The Undertaker?
Yeah.
Can you?
You can do anything in the company.
Well,
you can.
Well, of course you can.
You can do anything. But I feel like that's probably going to be the argument that Vince is going to have in the creative meeting. Well, we can't have Roman lose here, pal. He just retired The Undertaker.
He'll lose all his momentum.
Yeah. How are we ever going to get the crowd to believe that he can beat anyone if he loses this match? I think he should take 18 choke slams and thrown in 3 dumpsters off the stage and get out and beat him with a spear. God damn it, pal. The crowd will go crazy.
Braun grabs Roman around the waist, climbs up the Titantron, and throws him off the top.
Right.
Hits him with the frog splash.
Hits him with a frog splash. But yeah, no, I feel like this should be a win for Braun, hopefully, but obviously we will see. Finally, we get to the House of Horrors match, which, as Cliff alluded to a little bit ago, nobody knows what it is yet. Now, I had my suspicions last week, and I had heard a few things, and I heard today that it is a pre-tape match.
Okay.
It is going to be in an actual house, like haunted house. Apparently there is a scene in which Randy and Bray fight into a room where there's pieces of children's dolls hanging from the ceilings, and Randy arrives to the house in a limo, and they fight around the house, and at one point Bray beats down Randy, commandeers the limo, and they will obviously end up fighting at the arena at some point. So, just as I was saying last week, it appears that it's going to be true. There's going to be some sort of pre-taped, probably special effects, corny special effects laden.
Some more crickets and roaches.
There you go.
Worms.
Crickets, roaches, and worms, oh my. And we'll finish in the ring at some point during the show. So basically it is a Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match beginning in a haunted house.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know even where to begin.
Yawn.
Now they're in San Jose.
Okay.
Is this going to be Bray's house?
He's not from Texas. He's from Louisiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, San Antonio's not close enough.
San Jose.
Oh, wait.
San Jose is in California, my friend.
Oh, well, yeah, then it's nowhere near.
Nowhere near. He's not going to just be able to hop in that limo and go.
No.
Right. He's going to hop on a limo, drive, go to the airport, get on the plane, Fast and Furious style, and then fly to the arena, and then
commandeer another limo.
It's going to be stupid.
Commandeer another limo.
But
and drive to the arena.
If they're in San Jose, then they could use the house from American Horror Story, and they could credibly drive from there to the arena.
You son of a bitch.
What?
Wow.
You just... Oh.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be shocked if that wasn't sold in the meeting at some point. Anybody ever watch that American Horror Story, pal? I hear there's a house around here.
It gave Shane nightmares.
Now that would actually be the only credible way that I could believe it.
No, I think we're going to be led to believe that there's houses in every town that Bray goes to that are just...
Infested with spirits.
With spirits.
All of my houses, Randy.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
I have houses all over the world, Randy. The people... All right, okay.
I was just going to let you go. You were on a roll there.
It left me. I was possessed by the Bray spirit at one point.
So who wins?
This is the thing. Since the title's not on the line, I'm just going to go ahead and say that Bray wins. Because he has to. I mean, like, Bray since he's been in the WWE, he talks. That's his best attribute, is talking, selling a match, and telling you all of the terrible things that I'm going to do to you. But he never wins.
Ever.
30%.
And then he won the
30%
championship.
win rate.
Wow.
And we all rejoiced. And then he dropped it at Mania. And it was just like all that build up just for him to drop it to Randy Orton. An older Randy Orton, who I frankly, now that he's back face, I don't give two shits about.
You know, Randy referenced it in an interview recently where they were asking him if he felt that his character has evolved well over time. They were referencing, like, the Legend Killer and, you know, like all that stuff. And he actually, in his mind, doesn't feel like the character really changed at all. And I tend to agree.
Yeah. More tattoos.
Sure.
Yeah, more tattoos.
He just stopped kicking people in the head.
Yeah. Stop punting people in the head.
Which was actually one of the most intriguing things about Randy Orton, was him kicking people in the head.
Yeah.
He missed a lot, though. That was the problem.
Yeah, but it still worked.
Yeah, but when he connected,
yeah, it was you were taken out. But yeah, I tend to agree. Randy is very boring as a character. He's really boring as a face. He never works as a face. The only thing that's over is his move, the RKO. You know, but
For
that's,
sure.
I mean, go to the past. There's something about
The Diamond Cutter.
a 3/4 headlock, you know, that, yeah, you know, just dropped into a falling position, an ace crusher, a diamond cutter, a stunner, whatever you want to do with it. Something about that setup just brings people to their feet, man.
It's just seeing somebody's neck get cracked and cranked in that way.
But also, it's an easy move to, like, pretend you're going to do to your friends.
Yeah.
You
For
run
sure.
up on somebody and dive up for a RKO or a diamond cutter. So yeah,
Man, I've seen. Did you see the video of the kid diamond cutter RKO somebody in at school?
No.
It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like,
Is
he
it a
literally
shoot?
came up behind him and like gave him the RKO in the middle of school. You have to find it if you haven't seen it. It's hysterical.
Wow. No, I will. I'll look that up. Trust me. I always up for, you know, unplanned
I'm gonna send you
bumps
the
in
link.
public.
I love the one where they Photoshop Randy into a bunch of, like, missiles blowing up and stuff, like he's RKOing the missile.
RKO out of nowhere.
That is the best.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with Cliff. I feel like Bray needs the win. However, in my mind, that means that he's gonna lose, and he's gonna go over to Raw and be the same old upper mid card jobber to the stars that they usually do when there's so much more that can be done with that character.
Definitely, but I am very, very, very much intrigued to see what they're gonna do with Bray versus Finn.
Yeah.
Because the whole, like, release the demon type thing, like, I think if they do that right, that could be a very, very, very good story, and I think that could last them a while. That could be like a SummerSlam headline there.
Oh, Ed just got all wide-eyed, like...
I got it, dude.
What?
Yeah, Bray tries to steal the demon from Finn.
Dude,
Wow, yeah, that could work. That could work.
Yup.
that would be dope.
The Bayou Warlock wants the...
I got it now. He just got this glowing fucking jar. Oh, I got your demon, Finn.
Oh, see, now...
Damn.
I had hopes, and then I just
You
saw
had
what
me
they were
there.
going to do with it. All in one swoop.
Jeez.
Damn it.
Just when you think you had me,
I got your demon in my lantern, Finn.
damn it. You ruined it. Yeah, let's hope they never do that.
Oh, God. All right, so moving on. That was talking about the
I was
payback.
thinking more of something of like, since they do a lot of tape, supernatural stuff with Bray, it would be really cool to see him like summoning the demon and seeing it like physically like coming out of his body, like it's separating from Finn. Like, I think visually, that idea will look sweet.
Yeah.
or if they could figure out some kind of way to do it live. Like, I still today can't remember how they did the whole Undertaker's soul rising to the fucking Titantron shit.
Oh. Well, rumor was that was Marty Jannetty.
Really?
Yes, dressed as the Undertaker on wires that they raised up. Bruce Pritchard claims it was not Marty Jannetty in his podcast, which, if you are not listening to Something to Wrestle With, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic podcast.
First of all, I'm not recommending anybody else's podcast except for ours.
Do they recommend ours?
Totally recommend ours.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, no. That was a. I don't recall whether or not he said it was.
I thought he said it was Mark. I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
No, it wasn't Taker. But it was somebody dressed in the Taker outfit that they raised to the ceiling, and Taker was in the casket, but the video was pre-taped.
Yeah.
Oh, that fuckers!
I just pulled the curtain back for you.
You just ruined a piece of my childhood.
You're welcome.
Because I had the, you know what? See, this is why I just don't like people being on the internet.
As you say on a podcast that will go on.
Stop listening right now.
Turn us off. Good night, everybody.
The internet ruins everything. Turn this shit off.
All right, so moving on. Finished talking about the Payback pay-per-view tonight. I wanted to bring this up because this is a what the fuck are they doing moment where the change in name of the July Raw pay-per-view is going supposedly from Bad Blood to Great Balls of Fire.
No, that
Yes.
can't be true.
I am not kidding you. Look
Is
it
that
up.
a rib?
That is 100% the name of the Raw July pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire.
That is absolutely fucking terrible.
We're going to reference a song that was popular in the 50s today.
Vince still thinks it's hot.
He does.
Good nigger is a great ball of fire.
Very good.
And that's worse than Roadblock End of the Line.
Yeah.
But
which was a sequel to just Roadblock.
But WWE Great Balls of Fire.
Oh. It sounds
just
even worse
imagine
when you say
that's
it.
gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
It's good. Oh, it sounds even worse. And you know that for weeks, as they do, that's their buzzword. They say the full pay-per-view name on the show every week.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
you said, when it was Roadblock, it wasn't just at Roadblock this Sunday. It was at
No,
Roadblock
Roadblock
End of the Line this Sunday. We're gonna get at Great Balls of Fire. It's not gonna be at Great Balls.
At the Raw exclusive WWE Great Balls of Fire.
Oh,
At the American
God, Great
Airlines
Balls
Center,
of
Dallas,
Fire.
Texas. Ugh.
It hurts my soul. We're moving on.
Please, yeah, I don't even want to talk about this. Can
So,
we talk about some non-WWE related shit?
Sure.
Like
sure.
what?
Let's talk about some non-WWE related shit. Let's talk about TNA. Did you watch this week, Cliff?
I did not.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But I think, did I look at I think I may have looked at the results, but I don't remember exactly what happened.
Well, the reason why
You're not going to ask me if I
Did
watch.
Scott Steiner come back this week?
did Ed watch? Let's hang on. Ed's a little testy over this. Hold on.
No, I didn't watch. I was just fucking
Okay.
with
See, don't ever do that again.
No, I'm pretty sure I do know that Scott Steiner came back.
Yes. Big Papa Pump.
you. Oh, I
52-year-old Scott Steiner.
thought Scott Steiner was dead.
No, Scott Steiner's alive.
Wow.
Then who did I think was dead that was Scott Steiner, I wonder?
Maybe a friend. I don't know.
No, that's Rick Steiner.
Rick Steiner's alive too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I knew that. Well, he's
Scott
dead to
Steiner.
me.
Scott Steiner, in terms of the wrestling business,
Yeah,
has
his
pretty
career's
much been dead.
Yeah.
The man opened up a Shoney's in Georgia.
Which
Shoney's
I
make you a
am
decent
definitely
amount of
going to go to.
You're going to go to the Shoney's?
1,000% going to.
I just remember the picture of the restaurant opening with him, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Buff Bagwell, Rick
Buff
Steiner,
and the stuff.
and Jeff Jarrett all sitting there, and Scott Steiner looking every bit of buff Colonel Sanders. White suit and red tie. Yeah, that's Scott Steiner, and you brought that back. That back. Now, make no mistake about it, Scott Steiner terrifies me. At 52 years old, I still would not feel okay with him being in a half-mile radius from my home because he's insane. But you brought him back. That's what you're doing. TNA, you're trying to bring fans to your show, and you do this. I was listening to the Wrestling Sheet podcast the other day, and they talked about the fact that there has been something like ridiculous, like 36 or 32 or something like that, debuts and returns since Jeff Jarrett took the company back over.
Yeah, it's been all of these, like, former WWE guys, which some people I'm okay with, but Scott Steiner, Chris Masters, who else? Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
I certainly don't.
But speaking of, you mentioned Buff Bagwell. He actually just did an angle with like Jerry Lawler at the Memphis Grizzlies game, the last playoff game against the Spurs. Like he hit him with a chair.
Buff Bagwell's still wrestling? I know he's been doing the gigolo thing for a while.
I don't know what he's doing, but he definitely had an angle with JR in Memphis, which I don't know why he was there, but
Buff Bagwell gigolo, that's a thing. Look it up.
That's all right.
Oh, that's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
I believe it. I don't need it, but I believe it.
Yeah. You sure? You don't want to get some of the stuff? Buff is the stuff. So.
He is the stuff. He still got it.
Yeah, still got it.
Not a WCW guy.
Can't help but get a little of it on you.
He's buff. He's the stuff. And I don't even know what happens after that.
So, they bring back Scott Steiner. They also bring back Low Key, which is not a bad thing.
Low Key's
still
there we
very
go.
good.
Low Key, I'm good with that.
I'm not digging the whole Hitman get-up from the video game. He's wrestling in a full suit.
Oh, barcode tattooed on his back?
Barcode on the back of his head.
Barcode and everything.
Wow.
That's his thing in Japan.
Are they licensed? Is he
Well, that's what he does in Japan. Please, this is wrestling.
I'm just curious.
We're not licensing shit.
The yellow Spider-Man costume.
That's right. Dress somebody up as Spider-Man, make it purple and yellow, call him Arachnaman. That's wrestling. All right? Glacier.
Yeah. Not Sub-Zero.
Dressed as Sub-Zero on WCW television, complete with scar and all. They get a cease and desist from Midway, and all of a sudden, hey, it's Glacier, everybody. Let's forget about what we had him look like for the last 7 months while we've shown these vignettes.
You don't talk about Glacier.
You shut your fucking mouth talking about Glacier.
Shut your mouth. You shut it right now.
So we brought back Low Key. He won the X Division title, which I'm okay with. I feel like they're trying to beef up the X Division again, which...
Yeah.
But you have the Scott Steiner returning. The thing that irritates me about TNA is shit like this, is you have this angle you've been advertising for weeks. Where it is the constantly ongoing feud between Josh Matthews and Jeremy Borash. You have your announcers feuding.
That doesn't seem compelling.
They are constantly bickering on the television. So you're watching a match, hearing people argue the whole time, which drives you up a wall to begin with. They build this to a match where if Josh Matthews' team or Jeremy Borash's team lost, they would leave. Josh Matthews, his team lost, so he had to leave. So you have Josh Matthews is not there at the start of the show. An hour into the show, he shows up.
I'm not leaving.
I fulfilled my end of the bargain. I said that if my team lost, I would leave, so I left.
And
but I'm back.
Yeah.
But I'm back. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. First of all, hearing those two, so I had watched a couple episodes of Impact. I did miss last week, but I have been watching a few of those shows the last couple of weeks, and those two going back and forth at commentary has just been Oh, it's just been god awful.
You want to
like,
just stick red hot pokers in your ears.
Go get couples counseling.
Please. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, why? Who in the back thought that it was a good idea to have announcers feuding and they're on camera? I mean, like, it's just all day, the whole show. They're just bickering back and forth, and it's just like, it's stupid.
Well, when the King and JR were doing their thing in the middle 90s, they would bicker back and forth.
But this is different.
But that's just that was just part of the I'm a heel announcer, you're the face announcer, and we're going to talk shit.
Right.
But it wasn't to the point to where, like, literally every night they're talking about how terrible each one of them is at commentary. Like, you can't even do your job. Like, it's just like, it's stupid. It goes from like a heel face announce booth to I hate you and I hate you too. We need to fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Didn't
I guess when they did it with, who was it? Was it JR and Michael? No, it was the King and Michael Cole when they had their match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I hated it then.
Yeah, I hated it then too. Like, who the fuck?
The only thing that I liked about it was
Jeremy
the visual.
Borash throw the worst punch I've ever seen in my life.
Worse punches than Shane McMahon.
Yeah, his little rabbit punches.
I mean, just awful.
I hate Shane McMahon's rabbit punches.
And I hated it then. The only thing I liked about the Michael Cole Jerry Lawler thing was when Michael Cole had the bulletproof box that he sat in. That was funny. But it was funny the first time you saw it. When it kept going on, it was like, all right, can we get rid of the fucking box now?
You're obstructing their view of the ring.
It's just ridiculous. Stop making announcers characters on the show. They should be there to do the announcing, and that's it. That's my opinion.
More like a voice in your head than someone you actually look at.
There you go. They're supposed to be there to describe what's going on, to help you with the aid of the visual that you're seeing, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Another thing with TNA, Bram. Ed does not know who Bram is, I'm sure. Bram is used to be in the... he was the original member of the Ascension in WWE. Former husband of Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
Is now in TNA as Bram. He and Robbie E are a tag team. And no, not me. Not me. They're a tag team, and they went to Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. And they are part of the Global Tag League over there.
Right.
However, he has now been suspended for the duration of the tournament because, for whatever reason, he was in a grocery store in Japan and thought it would be funny to climb inside of the ice cream freezer and lay out on top of all the ice cream and take pictures and post it online.
He didn't do anything technically illegal, right?
Well, you are in somebody else's country and you are representing Pro Wrestling Noah over there. They didn't take too kindly to him sullying the ice cream.
It's a publicity stunt. Any publicity is good for wrestling, right?
Well,
publicity is good publicity.
But anyways, he has been suspended for the duration of the tournament, so he messed up their tournament. Because now they have to book around that team. All their matches are forfeit for the remainder of the tournament.
That's so stupid.
It is stupid, isn't it?
I would have coughed up another team to take their place, but that's me.
Yeah. So we talk about, people like Bram and Crazy Steve is no longer in TNA. Decay is done as a team in TNA, which I like Decay.
I did.
Crazy
I thought
Steve
it was a really good twist on the Abyss character.
Yeah.
Seeing him kind of transition over into the character that he became with what's the chick's name? I was going to call her Daphne.
Rosemary.
What's her name? Rosemary, yeah. And her, like, turning him and doing the whole, like, spit the mist in his mouth and all that shit. Like, it was weird and crazy, and it was, like, a really cool way to, like, pull out that whole deranged Abyss. And now we're back to Joseph fucking Parks.
Joseph Parks.
Abyss needs to stay Abyss.
I agree.
Yes.
And they did not try to explain what is going on there, just have him come out and wreck dudes.
He doesn't need to have split personality. He doesn't need to be the makeup or mask-wearing monster with no teeth. And then 1 minute he's his, quote, brother and a lawyer and wearing a suit. And now, Chris Parks, the guy who plays Abyss in Joseph Parks, I think it's a good thing for him, character-wise, to be able to go... Yeah, it shows his range. He can play two polar opposite characters, but the Joseph Parks character is done. What else can you do? Now, he is the lawyer for Josh Matthews.
Oh, Lord.
And he is representing him. Or is it Jeremy Borash? No, it's Jeremy Borash, excuse me. He's representing Jeremy Borash, and Scott Steiner is the partner now of Josh Matthews, and they are going to have a match at Slammiversary.
Yeah, it's... just shoot me in the face.
Yeah.
And they wonder why they're going down the tubes.
But
that's gonna be my shirt. Hashtag shoot me in the face.
But yeah, they literally buried the Decay gimmick, funeral and all, because Crazy Steve is no longer in the company. Crazy Steve received an offer from WWE. But this leads me into talking about rumors of other people on the indie scene that supposedly are WWE bound, but there's been a delay. Their contracts have ended with the various companies they're working for, Ring of Honor and the like. People like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, War Machine, Donovan Dijak, Leo Rush is another one. Why are they ending their contracts with these companies, but now 1, 2, I'm even hearing 3 months later is the plan? Are they still not signed officially with WWE and starting in NXT? Well, apparently, not too long ago, there was some sort of issue with, I believe it was Kyle O'Reilly, where Ring of Honor sent a legal letter to WWE and was accusing them of tampering with contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy is still under contract with us. I don't know if there's any negotiation clause in there to where, like, say 90 days before your contract is up, you can negotiate with other companies. I don't know that. But apparently, to prevent possible lawsuit, WWE is now making it their policy to tell people, hey, we want to sign you, but don't re-sign with this company, work the indies for about 90 days, and then we're going to sign you. Which has led some people to believe that, you know, you feel for the guy because, again, these are independent contractors. Their business is working. They no longer have the security now of saying, okay, when my contract ends, I'm going to jump into this contract with you. I have to let my contract expire, work for 90 days in other indies, hope I don't get hurt, because if I get hurt, you might pull that rug out from under me and say you're not signing me now.
Right. Be the old Shelton Benjamin clause.
There you go. and Shelton Benjamin, as Cliff just alluded to, when the brand split happened last July, Shelton Benjamin was working in New Japan. He signed to come to WWE. They started showing vignettes. Shelton Benjamin returning to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Then during the medical that they do, they found that he had a torn rotator cuff that he had been working with. They said, we can't bring you in now. Go get the surgery. We'll bring you back. He is now medically cleared, and there's no talk on the WWE end of him coming back, which is sad because even at his age, I believe Shelton is 42 now.
Wow.
He's 42?
He's 42 years old, sir.
No.
Yes, sir. Look it up.
I can't believe that.
He can still go, and it's sad that he doesn't get that final act in the company, which I believe he should. I think
he will be 42 in 2 months. That's crazy.
There you go. Shelton Benjamin, I feel like, man, you want to talk about somebody who should be working in the Performance Center, training people in NXT.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin should be down there. You know, I absolutely, in an in-ring standpoint, not on a microphone standpoint. Shelton Benjamin had marble mouth-itis, when it came to putting a mic in his hand.
He actually sounds a little bit better now, though.
You think? I haven't seen any
I've heard him
recent
recently.
stuff.
He sounds better. I don't know if he's been taking some lessons or classes or whatever, but he sounds a lot better. So I heard an interview that he did a little while ago with WCPW people and with the What Culture website, and he sounds pretty good. I like it.
I thought you said you weren't putting anybody else over.
Ooh.
It's too late. I'll watch it. I'm a fan, okay? And we're talking about promotions, and it's technically a promotion, so
Yeah, you're right.
I'm okay with it.
So, yeah, speaking of people who probably didn't sound all that good in a promo, God, I'm getting good at segues, is Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger left WWE right around WrestleMania, is now resurfacing, picking up some indie shots coming up. What has gotten everybody talking is the amount of money apparently Jack Swagger is demanding for these indie bookings. $4,000 a pop.
Why?
Why not?
He's
Is
not worth it.
he not worth it?
He's not. Not
You don't
any
think
day
so?
of the week. No.
Okay, point counterpoint. Ed, why is he not worth it?
He sounds terrible on a microphone with his lisp and his what? I think they're fake teeth, aren't they? They don't look right. They're not real.
No, I just think he's got big teeth.
All right. Well, either way, I don't like the way he looks in the ring. I've never been a fan of his style, and he's not strong enough to be a strong man, and he's not technical enough to be a technical man.
Cliff, why is he worth it?
Well, I think that being a former world champion makes him worth it. That's really whether or not he has the technical prowess, which I actually do think he's one of the better wrestlers in the ring. That aside from, he did get much better as a talker. He can't help that he was born with a tongue too big for his mouth. That's just genetic. Sorry, Ed.
What, are you going to shit on Cody Rhodes now that he's got a lisp too?
Yeah. Cody's got a lisp too.
That's right.
The American Dream
There you go.
had a speech impediment.
Let's go back to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Dusty Rhodes.
That's right.
A man morbidly obese with some sort of, Quado from Total Recall situation growing out of his belly with a lisp. And he was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
but he had charisma, and Jack Swagger does not.
You say that. You don't know.
You say that.
You don't know. The character they had him playing in WWE, the original Jack Swagger, I liked. I called him the
did too.
giant baby in a singlet, running down the ramp, beating on his chest because that's what he looked like, doing push-ups for no reason, and it was funny. And then they changed him to,
Okay, maybe I just hate heel Jack
right-wing
Swagger.
conservative, we
Yeah.
the people Jack Swagger.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He never did it for me.
I feel like, and here's where we had the counterpoint. I'm the tiebreaker. I say, Jack Swagger, get that money, son. $4,000 for an indie shot. In the words of Juventud Guerrera, you deserve it.
You deserve it. Deserve it.
So we talk about lisps. We go from Jack Swagger to Cody Rhodes.
Good job. Good job there. Segue. It's amazing.
Killing the segue game, son. Cody Rhodes. Ed's losing his capability to breathe over there. Cody Rhodes, in a recent interview, said that he is soon to announce a full-time home in wrestling. My question is, where's it going to be? Is he going back to WWE? Is he signing with New Japan? Is he full-time Ring of Honor? Is he staying in TNA? Where's he going?
I'm saying he's going to NXT.
Really?
Yep. That would be my... Because here's the thing. I think that Dusty played such an integral part of NXT's growth, and I feel like him going back there would be a great service to his father, and at the same time, it would be he wouldn't have to adhere to the same type of, I guess you could call it, character freeze as he had on the main show. I think he would be able to be him and be able to do the whatever crazy ideas he has in his head. I think he would be able to be that in NXT.
Ed, where do you think he should go?
Are we talking about on TV?
I think he is talking about having one place be his home, because right now he's bouncing
he's
back
everywhere.
and forth. Yeah, he's everywhere.
Right.
He's in TNA. He's
What Culture.
He's in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
He's What Culture. He's New Japan.
Right.
He's all over the place.
So he's going to stay there forever. Well, I don't know.
Probably not forever, but I
But-
would think he's probably going to be there saying, like, I'm going to put up a tent now, and I'm going to stay for at least a year.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it depends on where his head is at. If he's just trying to collect a check for the good of his family, then he's going to pick a bigger place like TNA. But if he's trying to use his personality to establish a smaller company, then I would say he's probably going to go with Ring of Honor or even WCPW, because they're not doing too bad for themselves over there.
No. Me personally, I feel like Cody should come back to WWE. And here's why I say this. They have the brand split now. And in the indies and things like that, he's literally just going by the name Cody. He's not calling himself Cody Rhodes because WWE claims they own the name. He did not go by Cody Rhodes before he joined the company. I feel like he should come back to WWE more so because I feel like now he has a better chance of being used in the role that I feel like he should be used. I see Cody Rhodes as if you let him be Cody Rhodes, forget Stardust, even though I thought that character was okay. If you let him be Cody Rhodes, you let him be the son of Dusty Rhodes, you let him be the angry young man as a main event level heel on the SmackDown brand, I feel like he has the ability to do something for himself there.
I could see that.
They just do not have, in my opinion, unless they're going to start building people, the talent on SmackDown to really kind of do much moving forward. I mean, granted, they have people that can shuffle them around, but as you can see with Backlash coming up, your number one contenders for the tag titles are Breezango out of nowhere. Your number one contender for the world title is Jinder Mahal.
Right.
They're trying to make people, but they need help. You don't have a lot going for you over there.
Yep.
You know? You have your Kevin Owens coming over, potentially. You have AJ Styles is a face now. Randy Orton is a face. You have... I mean, what do you have going over there? I feel like that's where he could slide in and probably show his worth that he feels like he has, which is why he left in the first place.
Right.
You aren't using me. You're making me paint my face up. What else do I got to do? I'm the son of Dusty Rhodes, damn it. Let me, do something.
Work.
When he had that character on SmackDown for a while there, where he was dashing Cody Rhodes and then he broke his nose, he flipped the character into that dark persona. I'm ugly now. I'm forever ruined. He wore the mask. He was making people in the crowd wear paper bags, things like that.
Yeah, that was dope.
He was really intriguing as a character there. Like, he did something. And then they just dropped it. And he went to being regular Cody Rhodes. He got a mustache over.
He did.
He was walking around with that mustache, and he had t-shirts with the mustache and like a comb, and it was just... And then they made him Stardust, and the rest is history. I feel like he should go back to WWE, but that's just my opinion.
No, I think I would love to see him in WWE. I would love to see him on SmackDown. I just think he would serve better in NXT because he doesn't care about the money. If he cared about the money, he would have never left WWE in the first place. And I'm pretty sure he's getting top dollar on all these indie shows. But for him to want to be able to be somewhere where he can be stable, that's definitely that's NXT. I think would just be a good home for him because it's in Orlando. You know, they tour every now and again. The schedule is much better than it is for a full-time, what you call main talent roster. I think it would just serve him better there.
I agree.
Wherever he lands is going to be lucky to have him, in my opinion.
Very much
Most
so.
definitely.
Very much
Most
so.
definitely.
Well, we're almost running out of time, so I think we're going to touch on one more thing here. Vince McMahon. The life story of Vince McMahon potentially being made into a full-blown motion picture by TriStar. I have read some things that are supposedly in that script. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I really hope there's some rewrites coming. Because I don't know who wrote this. I know that they probably wrote it for comedic effect. But it's not hard to really look up what's true about somebody's life and do something with it. There's scenes in the movie in which a young Vince McMahon goes to a restaurant in France and causes a big scene about his food being wrong and demanding to speak to the owner. And the owner happens to be Andre the Giant.
Really?
And he caused a scene just so he could get Andre to come out and convince him to join WWF.
Andre had been wrestling in Japan for years before he came over,
Andre
right?
was an attraction before Vince McMahon Sr. found him.
Right.
Not Jr.
Right.
And Sr. made him what he was.
Right.
There's a scene in which he finds Jimmy Superfly Snuka working as a porn actor.
What?
I'm not making this up. There's
This
a scene
can't be
in which
right.
a Randy Savage and Roddy Piper get into a fight on an airplane or something like that. There's a scene in which Hulk Hogan confronts Vince McMahon about his steroid use causing problems with his junk. There's a scene in which a woman propositions Vince McMahon and Vince comes clean to Linda about it. And Linda then drags him to the bleachers of said arena and performs acts on him. I'm not kidding.
Is he signed off on this?
Where is this script?
Look it up. The script is online. I don't believe he signed. That's the whole point. Is originally when this script was kind of making its way around not too long ago, he would not sign off on it. But the people who are behind this are the people that are also behind the show This Is Us and American Sniper, the movie. They've gotten involved, and now Vince has signed off on it. I believe WWE Films is going to be somewhat involved, but God help us. I really wish, I hope, I pray they change the script around. There's no mention of Pat Patterson or Bruce Pritchard in the movie.
At all?
They don't exist. And those obviously were his right-hand men for ages.
Yeah, this is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, Gorilla Monsoon has more of a role in the movie as being a right-hand man, than anybody else. But it's obviously, played up for comedic effect. And I believe the movie ends with the ending of the steroid trial where Vince almost went down, instead of going on to... I mean, there's so much more you can talk about. You can talk about the Montreal Screwjob. You can talk about the rise of the Attitude Era. You can talk about him defeating Ted Turner, who is a character in the movie, along with the Crockett's. Mm-hmm. And, him taking over his competition and the simulcast where he finally won the war, the Monday Night War.
Right, there's so many different
many things you can talk about. Why are you making up crap?
I think as long as they're probably definitely going to go through rewrites if they signed off on it. they're going to go through rewrites. I mean, I'm on a film right now. They're literally been rewriting it every day until, like, I think we got a draft today.
Are you comfortable talking about the movie you're working on right now, or should you not be talking about it?
I actually probably shouldn't have even said that. So let's cut that out. Ed, let's edit that out.
Well, you didn't reference anything. You didn't say anything.
You just said you're working on a movie. You're a man that works, whatever.
Yeah, this thing I'm working on. They rewrite stuff. That's what they do in the movies. So, it's gonna be out there. I think it's probably gonna get rewritten 1 billion times before it even goes into production. So,
it sounds
we'll
to
see
me
what happens.
like they're not trying to make a movie about wrestling. They just want to make a movie about a bunch of crazy characters.
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like this is. You remember the Howard Stern movie not too long ago, Private Parts?
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great, but it was played for comedic effect. It kind of told his story, but really over the top. And, you know, I feel like that's where they probably were wanting to go. But I feel like there is a story to be told if you tell the real story.
Right.
Now, granted, now that Vince and company are involved, do I feel like he's going to go more towards the ha-ha thinking everybody's going to love it? I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he tries to rewrite it. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays himself the entire movie.
Young Vince as old Vince.
Yeah, old Vince playing young Vince.
They'll just do the CGI on him that they did for, like, Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man.
But I obviously this isn't the talking stage. It's, you know, we don't know 100% that this movie's going to see the light of day. It may not ever, but the idea that they are working towards that.
That whole restaurant scene blows my mind. Like, he never owned a restaurant.
No. No, Jimmy Snuka was not a porn star.
Exactly.
If Jimmy Snuka was a porn star, don't you think that would be the thing? Like when Jimmy Snuka passed away a few years ago, wrestling legend and former porn star Jimmy Snuka.
Well, maybe not. I mean, he did murder somebody and got away with that. So.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't.
Is that what the
that
bleep
much.
is in that one wrestling something to wrestle with episode? They said, "Well, blank killed somebody," and I'm like, "That's who they had to bleep out."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, look it up off Airhead.
Yeah.
Supposedly that's what he was going to be standing trial for not too long ago, and they deemed him unfit to stand trial, and then literally like a month later he passed away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a thing. There's darkness.
Wait,
everywhere.
let me retract that. Allegedly.
Allegedly murdered.
He allegedly murdered someone.
Yeah. We're cutting close on time. I wanted to wrap us up on this, but I do want to talk about this one more thing.
Okay.
Before we sign off, because we mentioned it last week. Mauro Ranallo, obviously, him and WWE are no longer affiliated with each other. However, he is still technically under contract until August. Has come out and said that he will be returning to announcing pro wrestling sometime in the future. My question is, who?
Where?
Is it going to be New Japan? Is he going to go back to New Japan? Is he going to be working for a company like What Culture? Maybe TNA?
Right.
Could he be going to the World of Sport program that they snatched Jim Ross, WWE snatched Jim Ross away from in Great Britain? Where is Mauro Ranallo going to be going? And obviously it's probably not going to be happening until his contract is up, but where would you see him going?
I could definitely see him in a TNA, but New Japan, and I think pure wrestling, I think would be more beneficial for Mauro at this point. TNA would be a good choice just to keep him on TV, but I think New Japan would be his next stand, or like you said, the World of Sport. I think he would do well there.
I think TNA needs him worse, but he would be a better fit in New Japan.
For sure.
But I do want to point out the fact that Dave Meltzer is reporting that there is rumors
and speculation
and innuendo, as they say, and something to wrestle with. Yeah, rumors and speculation that perhaps Mauro could return to WWE before his contract is up.
If JBL is out, or what?
basically we move on like nothing happened.
Okay, whatever.
Because make no mistake about it, you have a extremely talented play-by-play announcer under contract.
And his name is Corey Graves.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Corey Graves is fantastic. You know, I would want to hear is Corey Graves and Jim Ross calling a match. That's what I
For
want.
sure. Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
But Morrow is under contract. I mean, at this point, unless everybody just wants to be a real baby about it, make amends and work something out. You know what I mean? Like, come on. If it can't be done, it can't be done. Have Morrow call NXT.
Yeah.
You know, put Tom Phillips back up on Raw SmackDown as he already is, and have Morrow call NXT with Nigel and Percy. You know,
I would love that.
Are they doing another Cruiserweight Classic this year?
I've heard.
No, they're
rumblings.
doing the women's tournament this year.
They are doing a women's
Have
tournament,
Ronaldo call that.
but I have heard rumblings that potentially there's going to be another Cruiserweight Classic. But
That would be great.
it would be.
It was the best part of last year.
But yeah, I mean,
For sure.
there you go. I mean, keep them under contract and have them call things like that. Have them call NXT. Have them call, you know, the Cruiserweight Classic, the women's tournament. You know, have them call things like that where you have that guy who is your play-by-play announcer. You know what I mean? Don't mess with him. Just let him do what he does.
Yeah.
And when his contract's up, if you want to re-sign him, work on it. If not,
Yeah.
bye.
He's getting a lot of praise for a match that he just did, too. He did a boxing match over in UK
Yeah.
where he called it for Showtime. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and apparently he dropped an AJ Styles reference in the show.
yeah.
Nice.
The guy's name's Anthony Joshua. So he said, AJ does it in style.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia. Yeah. We want Morrow. Can we get we need to get some kind of hashtag Morrow, hashtag return, please.
Yeah.
Please come back.
Please come back.
Don't go, baby. Don't go.
We still love you.
Oh, baby, don't go. So, I feel like that about wraps us up.
Sounds good.
Again, as I said in the beginning, I apologize if this sounds like shit.
It'll be better than you think.
I
It's
hope
going to
so.
sound amazing.
Well, obviously.
My voice is on here. You know?
We're always on point sound-wise, just dead sexy in the voice category.
You damn right.
But yeah, you know, obviously this was recorded using an iPhone and an iPad and FaceTime and voice memo, so yeah. I hope this sounds good. If not, like I said, we apologize.
Congratulations on making it to the end.
Yes, congrats.
Good job.
on making it to the end.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
In the bag.
In the bag?
Yeah.
It's in the bag.
In the bag.
In the bag. All right. Oh, and he even did a hand motion. I wish you would have saw that. In the bag.
In the bag.
So yeah, episode 2 in the bag, in the books, down and on tape, voice recording.
You're rambling again.
I'm rambling.
We're going to cut that.
We're gonna cut that
So
out.
let's
go home,
back
guys.
and wrap it up.
Let's go home.
I'm Ed Rowland.
I am Clifford L. Johnson.
And I am Rob English, and I sign off saying, when life gives you trouble, your alliance will see you through. When life hands you adversity, always kick out at 2.
Sweet.